Hey guys, this is Dan from Nerd Punch, doing a Game Punch video here on 11/9/2015, talking more BlizzCon awesomeness. Here with Tim, one of our Nerd Punch protege, Padawan, something not as important as I am. That's what I'm
Wanna
trying to get at here.
be.
Right.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
You got it, buddy. We're back to talk a little bit more about BlizzCon. We covered World of Warcraft already, and me and Tim are kind of pretty big into Diablo.
You might say that.
Yeah, just a little bit. We love playing the game. We think it's a blast. Problem was, you go to BlizzCon this year, and they had one tiny little panel on Friday.
For three
That's
minutes.
it. Made me feel really bad because I was hoping they'd announce something super cool, but it was kind of like it was glossed over and forgotten about by Blizzard. And I was a little frustrated. Then I saw the panel and what they were planning on doing, and they have a lot of cool stuff that's about to come through.
Sweet.
So some awesome stuff that's about to come out, and we'll
All
go
right.
over
Well,
it.
let's just hop right into it then.
There you go. So first off, they had the one panel, but they had the Slaughter Calf in. They're set up over by the Dark Moon
I
Fair.
wish I
And-
could see that in person.
yeah, I know.
Man, that's cool.
And they were doing lightning talks over there, and they had demos running of everything that they were talking about. So, first off, you got two new zones in with patch 2.4 comes out. So this is all over what's coming next in Reapers of Souls. Reaper
Okay.
of Souls. There we go. You have two
So
new
is this gonna be
zones.
is this gonna be Act 6 and Act 7?
No. Two new
Okay.
zones, just like Secheron was for the barbarians.
Okay.
You went down the Q-Nice Cube. So two new zones. One I think is in Act 5, and one is in Act.
Well said. Yes.
I think it was 3 or maybe 4. I don't know. It's one of those. So you got two new zones, and then you have a whole new area. It was kind of weird how they said it. You had two zones and then a new area. So all these different places to go to. All new mobs in them. Some cool stuff happening in each of those. That's awesome. So we're getting all kinds of new zones to go play around in. That's cool.
Okay.
They spoke a little bit about season 4 ending, which looks like it's probably going to end in December, late December is when
Okay.
this will happen. So if you are trying to finish up all your stuff you're trying to get done in the season, you may want to get a move on. You've only got you got a month and a half. You got plenty
Yeah.
of time. You'll be okay.
Okay.
They did say next week PTR starts for patch 2.4, so they're already hitting the PTR with it very, very fast. So that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
So anyways, we know that season 4 is coming to an end. We know that we have two new zones, a new area that's coming into it. There are new dungeons that are involved now. So they have the set dungeon is what they're calling it. You have to have the 6-piece set of a specific set. So every class has 4 sets. So there's 24 sets. So there's 24 set dungeons. And you go into that specific dungeon with that set on, and you have to use the specific way that set meshes together and kill it within a certain amount of time. You have a bunch of different challenges within there, a couple of challenges in there. And if you get both of those, you end up passing that specific dungeon. If you get all 4 done within your class, so as a monk, he has the Suaku, the Inas, he has the Ulyanas, and he has the other one that's like all kinds of different names, the demon set or whatever. Those are his 4 sets. If he finishes all 4 of those, he gets a pennant, and I also think maybe a portrait, something like that. If you finish all 24, you get some really cool stuff, and I think you get a new pet and some other really cool stuff or whatever. So that was kind of cool. So a brand new set of dungeons that you'll go in, a brand new set of dungeons that you wear a set in. There you go.
Right.
So that's neat. When season 5 starts, you will be guaranteed 1 full set that you will earn by finishing the journey within that season. So you can earn a complete set for free just by doing the season and getting the journey done, which is really cool.
Okay.
That's coming in season 5. We've always talked about how in Diablo right now I have like 1.5 billion gold in that game. And then once it comes out of season, it'll be over 2 billion. They have a money sink now, so you can get a empowered keystone. So what you would do is you have this keystone. You can empower it by paying a certain amount of gold. So like I think level 25 was 1.5 million gold or maybe 500,000 gold. So it empowers it. If you beat it within the time limit of getting that dungeon done, you get a 4th roll for your gem at the end to increase its abilities.
Okay.
So I think 1 to 25 was like 500,000, 25 to 50 was like 5 million or something like that. But I know like if it's level 75 on or 50 to 75, it was like 500 million to empower that, and you have a better chance, I guess, of getting gear in there. Things will be harder, more
Right.
difficult, but you'll get that extra roll on the gem at the end of that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're also putting in some really cool tooltips. So like if you're in a group of monks, you only have 8 slots at the bottom that allow you to show what buffs are on your character. And a lot of times you have way more than that going on and you don't see them going on. So they're kind of stacking a bunch of buffs in one. So anyone that you don't have to see is hidden. So you jump in a game with a mantra, a monk is wearing Ina's set. So you have every mantra going on. You have all those buff tickets. So now that's all stacked into one little buff over here. You can cursor over it, brings it up, and shows all the buffs that you have going on.
That's cool.
A barbarian comes and does war cry, anything like that. It goes into that. But the ones that you have to watch, like focus and restraint, things like that, or gems and things like that, you can still be able to see.
Cool.
They also changed up some UI looks. So, like, if I'm using the mantra of healing or whatever and I've activated it, it will get a gold border around the ability and a burn bar at the top of it showing how much of the duration is left on that. So, it's no longer there with the buffs. It's now in the bar showing my duration there. So, I have an easy, quick way of seeing it and it doesn't take up my buff bar. If you start season 5, you get a new storage tab. And if you finish season 5 or finish the journey, you get a second tab. And in the next 3 seasons you do, you can get a tab for each of those to increase your stash by an additional 5 places, which is
Wow.
pretty cool. So they're doubling
Yeah.
your storage space if you decide to take part in seasons. They are taking away all of the legendaries that are only specific for seasons. So those are no longer in there, but there are some special things that are happening in seasons, like the tabs and things like that, to keep people enticed to go and play. The other thing was that they're closing the bridge between if you play solo or with a group in XP earned. It's more going on instead of just wearing the gems and all of the XP earning stuff. You now all the XP is based around the mob type or the mobs themselves. So the XP can more balance out between a 4-man and a person running solo. So it feels like you're still getting things done, even though you're by yourself as opposed to a 4-man group, which
Okay.
is
Cool.
cool too.
Yeah.
They're condensing all of the giant numbers of death.
Good.
So they're kind of putting a K at the end of everything.
Doing a
And
number
so,
crunch.
yes, so it's white and yellow letters still, but then there's an orange one that'll pop up when it's like a super mega hit. It's like your best number on the board. That'll pop up in orange and kind of hang there a little bit longer. So you can see like, ooh, I just did a massive death punch of death thingy death.
Emptiness.
Mass death punch of
Holy
deathiness.
cow! I got an
Death.
orange number.
That's right. So that's kind of cool. I like that. So set dungeons. They're going to bring a lot more cosmetics with pets and pennants and portraits and things like that. They have the new areas. They have the set dungeons, and to get into the set dungeons, there's a tome you have to find, and you have to solve a riddle as to where it can be. And once you figure that out, then you can find where the set dungeon actually is.
Not a whole lot going on, but a few
I thought
changes.
I thought
The
that was a
UI,
lot.
the UI is a big change.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was a huge change. I mean, we got more dungeons to do. We got new areas to explore. A crap ton more bounties are being added. Yeah, they're doing a bunch of really good changes. So it's not like a new expansion, but a lot of good stuff coming. It's as big a patch as it was this past one as this one will be, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Cool.
Except you've already got the kunai. Oh, a new. So kunai's cube. You can take a gem now, put it in the cube with like some emeralds or whatever, and a legendary item, and you can transmute that, and it gives you a bonus of like 5 decks per level of one gem. So it's a level 50 gem that I transmute into a belt. That will give me, or a level 25, that'll give me 250 dexterity on that because I transmuted that gem into it. And that opens up that gem again to be found and re-leveled. It no longer sits there. So as I level a gem
Oh.
up, the higher it goes. Every level it goes up, I get 5 of my main stat. So I
Okay.
can take like a level 80 Bane of the Trapped and transmute that into a weapon, and I would get 500, 750, 750 dexterity added to the item right there.
Do you
if
have
it's
to have
high
a
level.
socket available for it, or does that just
No, it's
add it
transmuted. It's
as
just an added.
legendary?
It's just on the item. It's just
Okay.
transmuted into the item. So
That's
it's
pretty
not,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So it
So
doesn't
you
take up
that
a
opens
slot.
up your gem slot to level more gems, things
Yeah.
like that. They're doing some more tooltip stuff. So when you do get things that you have or have pulled the legendary powers out of, you Now we'll see a tooltip on the item saying, hey, you've already done this in the cube. You don't need to take it over there and try
Break it
again.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they have the no set. So people complained about having to get all these legendaries, but they had to play with a set. So they created a set so you don't have to play with a set, which is the lily and the compass rose, I think, or whatever, those two pieces that nobody
Mm-hmm.
wears.
Yeah.
If you put those on and then you wear everything just legendary and no sets, it gives a bonus of like 750. I don't know, some craziness.
Of your
So it
main
actually
stat or whatever.
matches it. Well, no, not 750, like 700%, 750% like damage and damage reduction. Increases. It gives you a huge buff for not playing with the
So
set.
if you want to play a
That matches a
hybrid
set.
class,
Right.
like Matt might want to do,
Well, I
which
mean,
is
if you like legendaries and you want to use all of their abilities instead of being stuck to just the 6 pieces you have to wear and just use that,
yeah.
now you can. You can use all that. You don't have to
All right,
just take it to the cube and break it down and
that's
never
a
get
cool
to use
idea.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the no set. And I think that's about it. But that was pretty good. And like I said, PTR will probably come out next week. And season will probably end probably towards the end of December. They're going to take a few breaks in between. They're going to take longer breaks in between seasons, so it'll be a week or two in between. Each season looks like they're getting to the sweet spot of about 3 months. Each season will run, and yeah, I think this was the gist of it. But I thought it was pretty good information for the one little panel that they had. I
Yeah,
was
that's
impressed
true.
with it.
That's a lot of information for one panel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Any questions? Any
Blizzard's
thoughts?
got it going on. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So the okay. So you said the season ended end of December ish. What
yes.
about the when's that patch going to hit?
Ooh, I don't that we don't know.
Okay.
So PTR starts next week. Once the PTR is done, which usually runs a few weeks before they'll finally move it into actual push it
Yeah.
forward live.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking
Gotta work
maybe
the
probably
kinks
the
out.
start of season 5, which would probably be January.
All right.
So we'll
That's
see.
awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see it come through.
Sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
Diablo's always been a favorite. I don't think I'll walk away from it.
No, Diablo's always nice to pick up and
It's
just
cool.
play. It's super fun. So, anyways, guys, that's it. There's your Diablo coverage. We did some WoW coverage. We might do some Overwatch coverage later on, but that's about the gist of BlizzCon. We may do some coverage of some of the tournaments. If you guys want to hear about that, just let us know. But we're Nerd Punch. You can go to youtube.com/nerdpunch, twitch.tv/nerdpunch. Find us there. Come by and see us, watch some of our other videos. We do a lot of them, and we appreciate you liking them, subscribing to the channel. We'd appreciate it. But I think that about does it, Tim, unless you got anything else better to say. Or we
Live
good to
long and
go?
prosper.
There you go.
Do it.
So, me and the rest of the guys, we are out. We'll see you later. Bye.